President Trump following through on yet another campaign promise, signing an executive order to build a version of Israel's Iron Dome right here in the U.S. to protect Americans from foreign threats.
To immediately begin the construction of a state-of-the-art Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will be able to protect Americans. You see that with Israel. We're out of 319 rockets. They knocked down just about every one of them. So I think the United States is entitled to that, and everything will be made right here in the USA.
Jeremy Hunt is the Veterans on Duty chairman and a former Army intel captain. He joins me now. Jeremy, great to see you as always. Look, this is not a new idea. Ronald Reagan proposed this back when he was president. That was like 4 decades ago. You weren't even a gleam in your parents' eye. So why did it take Donald Trump in his first week, basically, to make this a reality?
Yeah, well, first off, I think it's refreshing to have a president that prioritizes American national security. I mean, and I think he's spot on with this executive order. Look, the threat is very high. A lot of the intel agencies for the last 4 years under Joe Biden have been sounding the alarm that we are at a significant threat level right now in the United States. We all saw how the Chinese Communist Party could just, fly a surveillance balloon all through American airspace without being deterred at all. These types of issues, I think it does raise a lot of alarms, and Americans are wondering at home, are we truly safe? And look, it's not even just in the airspace, too. I mean, the CCP, they're buying up farmland next to our military bases and strategic areas. They're trying to control our food supply lines. A lot of the kind of crop protection products that our farmers depend on are now reliant on China. So American food security is now at risk. I mean, the threat is great. So I think President Trump is right to think outside the box. I think how we can make sure that Americans at home are safe.
But let's be clear-minded about this. Israel's system targets short-range threats, and Israel is only the size of New Jersey, so it's not as much space to cover as the United States of America. We need to protect against long-range missiles from our enemies, potentially like North Korea, potentially China, and cover all 50 states. So explain how that would work.
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, we have a defense industrial base in this country that has got to be fired back up. We have to make products here in the United States that focus on peace through strength, making sure that we are deterring our adversaries. And so we do that by building the type of weaponry and the type of protection systems that deter the threat, and also make sure that our enemies know that we aren't playing around, that we're able to respond if something were to happen. So you're exactly right. I mean, there's this type of long-range weapon systems that we've got to make sure that we're protecting against. I think that, the executive order, things will get fleshed out as time goes on, but I think we're on the right track with making sure we're prioritizing our own American national security above all.
And again, we hope to never have to use this, but it's peace through strength. If the deterrent is there,
right,
it decreases the chance that somebody tests us. Finally, the president also signing executive orders eliminating DEI and gender radicalism in the military, as well as reinstating and paying service members who were discharged for not getting the COVID vaccine. This is the first time I get to say this. Here's new Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Listen.
There are more executive orders coming that we fully support on removing DEI inside the Pentagon, reinstating troops who were pushed out because of COVID mandates, Iron Dome for America. This is happening quickly. Our job is lethality and readiness and warfighting. We're going to hold people accountable.
Let's jump off where Hegseth left off. What will these executive orders do in terms of increasing recruitment and, in turn, our lethality for those that need to defend our homeland?
Well, look, I mean, every young person who's considering joining the military, they want to join the military because they want to kill bad guys. Right. I mean, let's just be real. And so when we have a military that returns to lethality, you have a lot of young people that are saying, you know what, I feel like this is something I want to be a part of. I don't want to be, a part of something I'm having to go to 11-week DEI program, training programs, and, have to sit through all this, awareness of DEI program types of training all day. They want to be in a place where they're actually learning their skill set and learning how to increase lethality on the battlefield. And so I'm so excited. It's amazing how many Fox interviews I've done with Secretary Hegseth, and we've talked about this issue. And now we're seeing Secretary Hegseth in a position to get it done with President Trump. And so it's an exciting time, and I think we're going to expect to see a lot of those numbers rise, these recruitment numbers rise in the coming months.